We begin by becoming present in our bodies and gently checking our posture, 7 points of our posture. Starting with your legs, making sure you're sitting comfortably on a cushion or on a chair with your feet on the floor. Or if you're sitting on a cushion, in any position that is comfortable where your knees are not rising above the hips. If that means maybe adding an extra cushion under your hips so that your knees fall below the hips, this can help prevent your legs from falling asleep in the meditation. And your spine is perfectly straight, visualizing a string running from the base of your spine all the way up through the crown of your head, pulling you up very gently. Your head tilts naturally downwards, your spine elongates, and your shoulders, arms, and all the other muscles around your back relax naturally. Your hands are resting in your lap or on your knees, with your elbows held slightly away from the body. And your gaze is about 2 meters on the floor in front of you, with your eyes cracked open to let a little light in, or gently shut. Your jaw is loose, and your tongue is resting on the upper part of the mouth behind the top row of teeth. And finally, you could put a little smile on your face and allow all the tension held in the face to also relax and release. With that, also allowing your mind to release any thoughts or preoccupations and come to rest in the present moment. And we begin this morning's practice with a motivation, setting a good intention for our practice of Shamatha. So as Geshe Dorji Damdala spoke of in his teaching yesterday, meditation concentration is one of the 6 perfections of Buddhism. It's one of the 6 perfections that are named on the path to becoming a bodhisattva. And why is meditative concentration one of them? So shamatha is what sharpens our mind. It's like sharpening the knife of our mind so that I can cut through the illusions of ignorance. It also provides the quality of steadiness to the mind. As Geshe-la spoke of the candlelight, in order to read in a candlelight, our mind needs to be not only bright, but also steady and sharp. So we practice shamatha in order to cultivate these qualities that help us on our sixth perfection, which is wisdom, the accumulation of wisdom. And we approach this practice with a mind that is open, that has joyous effort, and most importantly, which is completely relaxed, not uptight and tense, not goal-oriented, but simply resting in the present moment in awareness. We want to really make sure we bring some relaxation into our motivation this morning. So take a moment to put your motivation in your own words and let it sit with you for a moment. Let your motivation completely fill your body and mind before you embark on your meditation practice today. And once you've made a strong motivation, we begin our practice with a 7 limb prayer, which is also part of setting our intention and motivation before we begin anything in life. First, I prostrate to the Guru, the Dharma, and the Sangha with my body, speech, and mind. I make offerings of every kind to all my gurus, both actual and mentally transformed. Taking a moment here to visualize the most beautiful offerings of incense, sound, flowers, and offering it to the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Next, I confess all of my negativities accumulated since beginningless time, and I lay them before the compassionate Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Imagining any negative deeds, speech, thoughts that you may have done in this life and other lives, and fully acknowledging and accepting all of them. Recognizing them for what they are. Next, I rejoice in all of the merits and good deeds done by others and myself. And many gurus say this is the most important limb, is to rejoice. Rejoice in the good deeds of others. I request the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas to turn the wheel of Dharma and continue teaching and spreading the Dharma. I also request the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas and my teachers to remain until samsara is totally emptied of sentient beings. And we conclude by dedicating the merits of reciting the 7 limb prayer to the full enlightenment of all sentient beings. We take a moment here to adjust our posture again, maybe straightening the back a little, relaxing everything else in the body around the spine. And we move to our mindfulness of breath practice. So for this practice, you can watch your breath either at the abdomen as it rises and falls, and staying present with that sensation, or by resting your attention at the very tip of your nose or the entrance to your nose, and observing the sensations the breath forms there as it flows in and out naturally. So becoming aware at your point of choice, becoming aware of the natural flow of your breath without trying to change it, without judging it in any way. Simply becoming aware of it. Like you're an observer, a quiet observer that the breath doesn't even know you're there. But you are fully present and observant of your breath. Noticing every sensation the breath is forming. Each flow in and out. Whenever you notice your mind has wandered away from your object, there's no need to get frustrated or tense up. Rather, notice that just by becoming aware of your mind, the thought dissolves on its own. There's no need to force it away or to criticize the mind. Simply become aware of the mind. Allow the thought to disappear on its own, and gently return your mind to your object of meditation. to the flow of your breath. This is a very gentle and even compassionate process. Release the thought, relax the mind, and return to your breath. The practice of shamatha is not about holding on to the breath and not letting it go, but it is a practice of remembering the object of your meditation. And so each time your mind wanders off, the moment of awareness, the moment you remember your breath, this is the practice of shamatha. This is mindfulness of the breath. To simply remember the breath again and again and again until we forget it less and less. So rather than getting frustrated at yourself for having lost the breath, you can celebrate and rejoice the moment you remember it. That is the moment you are practicing shamatha. So for the next 7 or 8 minutes, continue practicing on your own in silence, remembering to stay relaxed, most importantly, and joyful. We bring our meditation to a close by dedicating the positive energy towards the end of the war in Gaza, that the war may end without any more lives being lost, and dedicating to the thousands that have already been lost as casualties. Dedicating also that the war in Ukraine and all wars everywhere may end immediately. And that peace and compassion might prevail in the world, especially in our leaders. Thank you for joining this morning.